says she doesn't like where she's at, but it's worth it to try something new. You can't be afraid to get your head wet. I started looking for new things to do. Alice says that after just a few drinks, things seem to go back to the way that they were. She says I've been waiting a long time to do this, and then she drops her money in the water. Drop rude Alice. Drop rude Alice. Alice says she'd like to come visit more. I don't think anyone would protest. She says we bring her a side of her that she thought was gone. It's a side of her that I think she's missed. Hey, Alice, lighten up, I said. Don't be so rude. Ain't she not that anyone could say that? You must not know me very well. And she smiles, and when she smiles, everyone always smiles back. Drop rude Alice. Drop rude Alice. Is it obvious that we want you around? Whenever you feel the need to get out of your town, I wrote a song about you. Do you like how it sounds? Hey, Alice! Alice says she doesn't like where she's at, but it's worth it to try something new. You can't be afraid to get your head wet. I started looking for new things to do. Alice says that after just a few drinks, things seem to go back to the way that they were. She says I've been waiting a long time to do this, and then she drops her money in the water. Drop rude Alice. Drop rude Alice.
So, a creature for my amusement. Prepare for battle.
Well, it's nighttime, don't you know? There's a place you need to go. Grab your gal and grab your bow, 'cause it's time for the secret show. If you're feeling sad and low, and you're running out of dough, make it quick, don't take it slow, and head for the secret show. It's time for the secret show.
Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. Sorry. All right, just in case this show goes tits up, we're just going to go ahead and do this right off the bat and get it out of the way, okay?
There can be only one.
Yeah!
Okay. Because, you never know. You never know. So last few shows, like last week, and 2 shows this week for Morning Extra, they just cut off. They just said, you know what? Fuck you. No soup for you. And so I did some tooling today and winging a prayer. It's 11:11 in the Central Time Zone, so make a wish, everybody, if you're in there. So fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get through tonight at an actual show. You know, where we have an ending and end credits and post credit scenes and all that good stuff. Willie, I thought Lindsey Graham's comments of Greta Thunberg and the flotilla was really gay. I see what you did there. Thanks for the 10 spot, Willie. Yeah, he said something like, I hope they know how to swim or something like that. And then apparently there's like some sort of Zionist boat out there with a bunch of kids harassing them or something like that. So Zionism, man, that motherfucker's all over the place. That shit is like goddamn cockroaches, man. You can't get rid of them. All's quiet on the Western Front here in Rockfin. Rumble, we got Miguel pulling double duty. He likes Rumble because of the emojis. I think there's a better assortment of emojis over there. Yeah, the Ziatilla. That's what they are. The Godzilla destroyed Tokyo. Everybody say hey. So we got Rick Salas in the house. What's up, buddy? Over here on the YouTubers. Bella, good to see you. I saw you. I saw you in the chat earlier on the test stream. Thanks for hanging out. I love it when I do test. You do test streams, and then people show up. You're like, hey, is this a show? It's like, well, kind of. It's kind of a shitty show. So anyway, so far so good tonight, but we'll see. I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. So, good to see you. Cowboy Kitty. Good to see you. Miguel, again. Sir. Who else we got? Charlie Hess. What's going on, brother? Chuck's Intergalactic UFO Show. Intergalactic. Another dimension. Kate, what's up? You tell your old man. You tell your old man to learn how to eat TV dinners if he can't be at the house on time. You understand? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know shit about marriage. I don't know how that shit works. CBC voter, what's up, CBC? Good to see you. Good to CBC you. I've got some earlier folks in here. Laney, of course, Willie, I shouted you out. Laney Peterson in the house. And I think that's everybody. I know Peace Dove's in the house. I saw you. If I missed anybody, of course, as always, I'll aim better next time. Happy Saturday night. This is, June is a weird month. So yesterday was D-Day, right? And next week from yesterday is going to be Friday the 13th. So, oh no. Who's glitching? Don't say that. Don't you fucking say that, Bella. I hope you're not talking about the stream. If you're talking about something else, that's fine. I don't care. Just don't talk about the stream. All right. Uh-oh. Anonymous. I'm here now. Open your legs, women only. Moose, what time is it over there? It's morning, right? You having breakfast? Are you noshing? I know, right? Oh, come on. You're worried about bad luck on Friday the 13th when every fucking day of your life in this world is bad luck? Come on, y'all. I think at this point, bad luck takes a holiday on the 13th. What's up, Wesley? Good to see you, my friend. I knew I missed somebody. Sorry, Wesley. There's a lot of names in here, so I gotta make sure I get everybody. Folks, if you're if you're fresh on the scene, as it were, hey, buddy, be sure to obey the chicken because things go bad. 5:15 in the morning. Yeah, so it is breakfast time. So please like and share and subscribe to all the good stuff. Okay, Bella, you scaring me. Don't scare me, man. Come on, I got a weak ticker. All right, so. All that business over there, and what's going on in LA too with ICE and the protesters. I think Trump said he's gonna call out the National Guard or some shit. God, it's so frustrating when you try to tell people the truth about something, and they either say you're full of shit or you're a troll or whatever. And you're just like, no, dude, I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. And, they don't want. Chump, as they said in Airplane, chump don't want the help. chump don't get the help. You understand? Steve Wolfbrand, hello to you, good sir. Over on Facebook, really? So you're the one? Yeah, no. A kind of a programming note as far as like channels. Coming up probably July 1st or by July 1st, we're not going to be streaming on Rockfin and possibly Facebook too. We may still stay on Facebook, but Rockfin has just become, I don't know, it's just become a weird place, right? The interface is just terrible on the phone app and on the desktop too. Martial law in LA, Trump versus Newsom. Yeah. Newsom will fold like a cheap suit because, you know, they both get their orders from the same people. Rick, are you off work? Are you out of hell and into this fresh hell? Your husband doesn't shop for food, plan his meals, make his food, or clean the kitchen. You know what? It's time to get a divorce. Look, people got arrangements, you know, some people like, hey, look, you go do all this shit and I'll do all this shit and that's our partnership. I'm just kidding with you, Kate. Don't divorce your husband. Not like you would divorce your husband because I told you to. Divorce your husband. I am the Sven Jolly. Ooh, I kind of did a little Star Trek beat. Look at this. I do this. And then the shirt goes. I'm wearing a Star Trek shirt, so that's what happens. They're trying to beam the shirt off of me. You do not want to see me shirtless because I have lights around here, but then it would be like you wouldn't see anything. All you would see was the sun. So haven't watched anyone on Rockfin in a few months. It never improved and then started messing with Create. Yeah. So the thing is on Rockfin now, yeah, pretty much. I mean, the thing with Rockfin now for creators, what used to, you could create they call it an event or whatever it is for your live streams, right? And I always set mine to free because, you know, I might fucking pay for this. And you know, I don't know how you have to be a member. You have to pay like $13 or some $14 a month for Rockfin for the premium shit. Fuck that. You get the same damn shit on Rumble for free. What's a Rockfin? Yeah, but isn't he on Rumble too, Bella? I don't know. I like Ryan. Had him on the show sometime a couple of years ago, I guess, but super nice guy, really good musician too. We play his music on here too. I thought he was on Rumble too, but he may be just Rockfin. But the thing is, they won't now. You can't make free. You have to. All the shows on Rockfin are premium. Yeah, exactly. It's all premium now. Our buddy Kevin over at Black Bear News, he was telling us about this, and you know, it's. You don't do that to people. Don't make them pay $15-14 a month for garbage, for that shit that you could probably see on Rumble or for free, or hell, even Odyssey if you know, if that's still a thing. Does anybody watch Odyssey at all? I was doing that for a hot minute, and then they, you know, you had to have like some sort of tokens and stuff to do it. This token based, you know, crypto shit. I'm not down with that. I divorced myself, but I still have to keep paying. So stay married. You divorced you. Are you saying I'm divorced myself? Or you divorced yourself? Were you married to yourself? Yeah, I do too. I streamed on it for about, I don't know, maybe a few months. And then it was just a pain in the ass, man. Yeah. Fuck crypto. I'm telling you what, man, these crypto bros, they're like, man, we were making fat bank. Yeah, until the coronal mass ejection from the sun hits, it fucks up your internet, Xfinity, you know, and these electromagnetic pulses, they're going to wipe out all your crypto. It's going to wipe out the servers where your crypto is or wherever it is. Your wallet ain't gonna be good for shit. Odyssey is so 2018. He was paying until March now. Rockfuck isn't getting any of my money. Yeah. And you have to jump through hoops as a creator. Like, say, if you get tipped money on there, here on YouTube, YouTube is kind of stupid too, because it's kind of, they tell you, like, you get paid out once a month, but they determine the amount, and it's just, I don't know, it's weird, but it's a hell of a lot better than Rockfin, where you have to buy Ethereum. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it, because it's all bullshit. For gas fees, again, if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. In order for you to convert those stupid Ray tokens into dollar tokens that you can actually transfer to your bank account. It's just so many hoops to go through. It's just not worth it. So I'm going to say by July 1st, we're going to be done with Rockfin. Tristan. Hello, Tristan. Good to see you. What's your take on U.S. imperialism? Not a fan. Not a fan. I think the U.S. and the West in general is run by Zionists who want to take over the world for whatever reason, just for power and wealth and to be king of the world, I guess. I don't know. We need to stay the fuck out. This is 2025. We don't need to be invading countries and bringing democracy anywhere. All right. We need to be helping people build bridges. We need to build fucking bridges here. We need to fix our shit here. Exactly, P stuff. Fuck Zionists. You sort of miss MySpace too. I tell you, MySpace was ahead of its time. It really was, because if you had MySpace now, it would probably, like, if you never introduced MySpace before and you introduce it now as something like that, something you can customize and stuff. A lot of people now have the bandwidth in order for that. You could like put all your bells and whistles on your page and whatnot. People were putting like songs and like video things and stuff. It was really cool. You could really customize your page, and it was cool. It's just back then you didn't have the bandwidth to do that. So the more shit you put on a page and you click on it, it'd take you like 10 minutes to load the fucking page. When asked what he thought of Western civilization, Gandhi replied, "I think it would be a very good idea." Yes, indeed. Yes. That's like the baseball or the football coach. I can't remember who it was. They said, "What do you think of your team's execution?" And he said, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." So you're on space hay. What space hay? What do I think about AOC and Bernie Sanders? Posers. I think they're shepherds. They're trying to get people into the Democratic Party. I think they got their mind straightened out by the Democrats. And I feel bad because I was really rooting for those cats, not too long ago, but then, when you fold again, like Newsom, like a cheap suit, like Bernie did twice, and then you have AOC on the steps of the Capitol doing some PR thing with Cory Bush during the pandemic and the housing, the rental crisis. I don't listen to rhetoric anymore. I look for actions. I see what they do, right? And what they don't do, right? What they say is just all bullshit. When the money talks and bullshit walks, you got to walk the walk, right? You got to do the thing. Yes, post-duopoly. And but I don't mean to be that guy, but the third party ain't going to do it either. You need to change the system, right? You're trying to frost a shit cake. You can't, if you can frost a shit cake, it'll taste like frosting and shit, right? Bake a real cake. Get rid of the shit and bake a real cake. I was talking to my buddy Ed today about this. People are so worried about having one style of economy or something like, or a government, you know, like some people just want communism, some people just want socialism, some people just want capitalism. And it's like, it's 2025. Why can't we take the best out of all of these and put them together? And so nobody seems to want to do that. I'm all for multiple parties. I wish there was like 100 parties, right? Even though I'm not a big fan of political parties, they're just fundraising machines at this point. They do nothing for people. But if you change the system and where, you know, you actually get decent people in there who want to make change for us, but we're not there yet. We're not anywhere near that. Yeah, it's time for a post-Bernie left. Tristan, I feel like I'm being interviewed, but I like your questions. What do you think about the DSA and PSL? Are they not channeling revolutionary energy into are they not channeling DSA really during Force the Vote? And I'm not going to bring Jimmy Dore or anybody into personalities into this. Let's talk, but talking about Force the Vote, they had a very slim majority in the House, and they really could have taken advantage of that. Like, what was it, the Freedom Caucus or whoever that was? They're shitty people, but they knew how to play the system, and they didn't do it. The DSA had it in their playbook, but they never tried to get AOC to actually follow the playbook. It's just a hot mess, man. You're voting for me. You're wasting your vote. Good for you, Charlie. But I want to be dog catcher. What? No, very good questions though, Tristan. Because I mean, you know, you have a lot of people who are just like, well. And this really pissed me off when they were passing around Jill Stein on all these shows like she was a fucking joint, right? Who the fuck cares? She shows up every 4 years and is like, "Hey, running president, girl," you know. Except for like 2020? She didn't run. It was what's his name, the weird guy with the goatee. I see what you did there, Miguel. You made the B's sixes. So it's Big Beautiful Bill 666. Exactly, Big Beautiful Bill 666. It's just common sense shit, right? There's too many fucking sensitive people. It's why the left will never get together. The left will never coagulate and fight for what's right, because there's too many fucking personalities, too many sensitive fifis, too many people worrying about dumb shit and not worrying about the real deals, right? And they don't want to work with people unless it's their idea and they use their ideas. And it's just like, you know, that's one of the common problems with the left. It's like with the right, you don't have really like individual thought. It's kind of not really so much anymore, but it used to be like the Borg hive mind. Right? Republicans were just like lockstep. What was the saying? Republicans fall in line, Democrats fall in love. And now Democrats fall in line because they're basically, you know, Republicans too. Anyway, off of the soapbox there, I guess. But very good questions. I appreciate you, Tristan. Welcome. Be sure to view deleted message. Why'd you do that? Hot mess equals CIA. Yeah, Tristan, that's right. Hang on a second. I gotta do a thing here. All right, now we're good. No, that's all right, Kate. We got him back. Kate's one of my deputies. If you're new and you see all these blue names in the chat, you're like, oh, what are all these Smurfs? Those are all my deputies. So, it's all right, Kate. Sometimes you got to cap somebody. It's all right. But welcome, Tristan. I hope you enjoy the show. This show tonight is just nothing but silliness. I mean, we'll talk a little serious stuff, but, you know, it's mostly just silly stuff. I do a show during the week that has a lot of very sad and terrible news. But I feel like the people need to hear the news because, you know, a lot of times you're not getting a lot of these stories Obviously not from the mainstream media. They're not doing anything. So like on the weekends when we do this show, it's like a, it's like you just ran a marathon and then you're just, I just need a break. I need a beer. I need a joint. So, wrong hole, Kate. All right. All right. So I don't know what's going on with Chicken City, but hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm thinking there's chickens somewhere in that darkness. And if they want me to tip a blank screen, they are out of their fucking mind. That ain't happening. Chicken City, ladies and gentlemen, in eastern Canada, where normally they have chickens. Tonight, folks, hopefully, how are we looking here? I'm looking at my stream here. I'm looking at everything's copacetic so far. Knock on wood, knock on wood. The power went out in Chicken City. Yeah, I know, right? You would think Chicken City would be rich, man, selling those eggs. Shit. Forget crypto. Just invest in eggs. Go, CBC, did you say you was high as fuck a while ago, or was that somebody else? I think that was you. So anyway, you guys know who James Lee is. I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately, and he's really one of these cats who's on the ball about reading between the lines and finding all the bullshit that's going on in the world. Eggcoin, right? Eggcoin. You all live in the past. Sunday morning, and I gone straight to hangover. Moose is over there across the pond. That's very sweet of you to. Unless you're already up this early, Moose, I appreciate you getting up this early to watch the show. So, Mystery, what's up? Everyone sucks people. What's up? What sucks people is about the bottle or dopiness. Intentional, well-rehearsed copium to mellow any potential activity. Okay. National Guard, Insurrection Act, martial law. Look for it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did martial law in L.A. But this is the town that had the Rodney King riots too. So. These people ain't going to go down without a fight. So anyway, James Lee is talking. We were talking about Israel a while ago, and James Lee is basically pointing out what a lot of people already know, but he's putting it out there that everybody says, "Well, Bibi, Netanyahu is evil. If you get rid of Netanyahu, then Israel will be a super wonderful place like that." I mean, not everybody says that, but like the normies who don't know what the fuck's going on, they're the ones who say, "Oh yeah, well, he's not a good person, but if they replace him, I'm sure Israel will be a super nice place." But he's actually, there are some crazy fucking people in that Knesset, in that government in Egypt. So actually, Netanyahu is a moderate compared to the fuckers that want. These people are like probably want to nuke Gaza. I mean, I'm probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But this is James Lee. He's talking about Netanyahu and how really he's a moderate. He explains why here.
People don't believe me when I say that Netanyahu is a moderate. And no, this is not clickbait. I am 100% being for real. Because this is a point that people really need to know and understand and grapple with in order to prepare for what's to come once Netanyahu is out of power.
You can be in Tel Aviv and meet some liberal Israelis or leftist Israelis who might have another vision. And I spent a lot of time with the very marginalized anti-Zionist Jewish Israelis who in many ways were my guides to Israel. But I also got to be on base with Israeli soldiers in the West Bank and talk to them. And they come from the communities that represent the true working class, Jewish Israeli working class, who are kind of ignored in their own ways and have faced their own level of violence from the Israeli police. And what they say simply is, our lives are hard here. It would be a lot easier if someone could just push the button and eliminate the Palestinians. We don't care. That's where Ben-Gvir comes from. That's where Bezalel Smotrich comes from. That's where, in many ways, Netanyahu comes from that. But he balances that reality, the genocidal impulse that is emanated from the Zionist indoctrination system. He balances that with the Americans who he has to cater to and manipulate. And Netanyahu is such a special figure in that regard because, throughout the 90s, he was mostly here in Washington, hanging out at AIPAC's offices right down on K Street. He grew up in suburban Philadelphia. His father spent most of his life in upstate New York. Netanyahu is as much a product of this society as he is of that, and he's the last figure who can balance those two interests. Once Netanyahu leaves the stage, it's going to be those guys on the military base, and Americans need to recognize that's the real Israel that they're going to have to contend with, which has nuclear power, which has the capacity to commit genocide, and is doing it right before our eyes and live streaming it shamelessly.
This is veteran journalist Max Blumenthal. He is one of, if not the most knowledgeable people about this topic. And there's a reason why this point is so important. Okay, being our closest ally, one of the fundamental underlying goals of American mainstream media is to manufacture support for Israel. And one way of doing that, given everything that's gone on, is to paint Netanyahu and his government as right-wing. Because correct or not, for a lot of Americans, right wing equals bad. In other words, it's not Israel that's bad, it's Netanyahu. And if he goes, then things will magically be good again. But no, I'm here to tell you that stories like this one right here is not unique to Netanyahu. It will not go away if Netanyahu is removed from power. I hate to say it, but this might be considered tame compared to what might be coming in the future. But hey, these are just my thoughts, so let me know what you think.
Yeah, so that's James Lee on YouTube, and a lot of you people know who he is. But if you don't, make sure all these videos tonight are from YouTube, and please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these channels. They're good channels. They got a lot of information, a lot of entertainment, a lot of information, a lot of news you can use, that sort of thing. So, but he's absolutely right. It's Israel. The propaganda machines in Israel, yeah, everyone brace for Bibi's replacement to be worse. Because people in Israel are taught from birth that they're surrounded by people that hate you. They say people hate you, and then you have to go into the military service. So when they indoctrinate you there in the military service as well. And then when you get out, you do your service, and now you're in this society full of hateful people that wants to put bullets in babies' heads. And that's where we are today. What are y'all pointing up for? What is this? Oh, James Lee? Oh, okay. Yeah, James Lee's pretty good. I like him. So, I don't know. He may be a shitty guy in real life. I don't know. But, I can appreciate something and be skeptical of people at the same time too. I think it's very, very good idea to be skeptical. Ben Netanyahu is a cancer. Look at all them. Jeez. Peace. But yeah, it's the whole system there in Israel is just geared for hating Palestinians, right? And like Max said, there's a very tiny minority of anti-Zionists, but that's like the anti-capitalists here. I mean, there's a lot of anti-capitalists, but I mean, like for real. Cooper, hello Cooper. If they replace Bibi with a trans person, the West will have to forgive them. Oh, I see what you did there. I know, right? Was the ID politics. Why would anyone hate God's chosen people? Max called them blue-collar Jews. I call them Rajas, R-A-J, regular-ass Jews. Not Zionists, just your garden variety, everyday Jewish person, who doesn't believe in killing babies and stealing land and crazy shit about, building temples and all that kind of stuff. That seems absurd enough on its face to be. Look, I know, right? Stranger things have happened. I wouldn't be surprised. Hell, if Trump got elected, all bets are off, man. Come on. That Netanyahu cabinet is a stage 40 of cancer, not stage 4. Willie said we're going to add 36 more. Kiwi Corner. What's going on? Israel is a project of U.S. imperialism, not the other way around. Zionism is anti-Semitism. Yeah, anti-Semitism. You're right. Well, yeah, I mean, the U.S. had a part in creating Israel. But the thing is, it's like, well, why are we... Is it a guilt thing from World War II? Is it still... Are they using the Holocaust as an excuse to, like, you know, please still, even though we're doing some really evil shit, please still pity us because of the Holocaust? I'm talking about the Zionists, not the regular ass Jews. Grey Walker joined third party. What's up? Good to see you. Nothing has changed since Joshua. Yeah, so I'm thinking there's like, Israel's got some serious blackmail on a lot of these highfalutin peoples around the planet that's running shit. And much like Jeffrey Epstein, they're using it to blackmail people and get the West to do what they do their bidding for them. And God forbid if someone gets in there, that's a hell of a lot worse than Bibi. Not that I want Bibi to stay, but it's the same situation that we had here. If you think about it, you didn't want God, I can't even remember her name now. Harris, Kamala Harris, Kamala, whatever the fuck her name was. I already forgot that bitch's name. You know, you're like, well, you better vote for Kamala, or you're gonna get Trump. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, you better stick with Bibi, otherwise you're gonna get these fuckers, Beelzebub, or whatever that guy's name is. When the Hebrews first arrived on the scene, they slaughtered every last man, woman, and child, goat, dog that was there before. Yep. The Nakba. All software must go through Izzy before approval. Been that way a while. Global, what's up, buddy? The world of opposites. Accuse your enemy of your faults. Every war propaganda and president. Yeah, projections. I know a lot of people in this space who do projection too. It's not good. It was a sacrifice to their god, the devil. Yeah, I know. I'm down. Look, I'm a Reformed Southern Baptist, so I used to know all 66 books of the Bible. There was a little song that went with it, because that's part of the propaganda, y'all. Look, if you like religion, that's great. I'm not shitting on it. But if your religion affects people who don't partake in your religion, you need to stop. You own too many Woody Allen DVDs to be anti-Jewish, yet Zionism was a mistake. Kurt Boss, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Book of dumb shit. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, some people use religion as something to help their lives, which is great. I think that's good. You know, that you need that shit, that's fine. But, you know, if you're going to come up to me and say, I'm going to go to hell because I don't believe in your sky god, you know, I'm probably going to tell you to fuck off. So on
the evening.
Whoa, we didn't do that. Sorry. So that's more your heavier type stuff. We like to get that all out of the way off the top. Now we get to the sillier stuff as we get in here. So, you know who Mr. Ballin is. I love these storytellers on YouTube. I was thinking about starting one of these kind of things. Just sitting there telling stories, like old ghost stories and spookies and stuff like that. I can't get enough of that shit, right? Some of them are fake, you know, they've been debunked, but some of them are like, what the fuck? Book of Homeless Nomads. I like George Carlin's take on religion. Yes. That's the thing. Don't let religion run shit, right? You can't prove any of that shit in the Bible. You can't. There you go. Go find Noah's grave, please. Go find Jesus's grave. Go find Adam's grave. All right, you don't find none of that shit. Israel needs to justify not having a real home they can call theirs. Yeah. All the Xylies have made me question the history of the brutality of Native people. Yeah. Well, they say history is written by the winners. And a lot of times the winners are motherfuckers, and they're gonna fucking lie every fucking time. That's funny you say that. We have a story about Atlantis, sorta, coming up. Or a video about it, not a story. This ain't the morning show, fuck it. So anyway, Mr. Ballin, I like him. He's the guy who always wears a ball cap backwards, and you probably see him right here. And he always tells really cool stories, and this one is particularly wild. So check this out. Which one is this? Yeah, so this is the home gym. All right, so this is about, I think this is in Japan. I think. Anyway, he'll tell us.
On the evening of Thursday, May 21st, 2015, a 16-year-old girl named Lily walked into the home gym inside of her house in Hong Kong looking to do a workout. She saw her dad was in there, and he was doing some sort of cool-down exercise on a yoga ball. Lily's dad, whose name was Ka Kim Sun, was a doctor, and normally at this time of the day, she would never see him in the gym. He was typically locked upstairs in his study, or he was just gone for the day. And so Lily asked her dad, like, what are you doing here? And her dad would tell her, work at the hospital was really slow today, so I took off, played some tennis with friends, and now I'm just doing some cool down exercises, but I'll be out of your hair in a second. A couple of minutes later, her dad was up and out of the gym, and Lily just began her workout. The next day, around 1 o'clock, Lily was at home at her dining room table, sitting across from her mother, whose name was Wong Siu Fing, and staring at an open textbook. Now, normally, at 1 o'clock on a Friday, Lily would be at school, but she had had the day off that day, and she had wanted to spend her day off seeing friends, but her dad told her that you were gonna stay home and you were gonna study all day long. And then a couple of minutes later, she actually heard her dad coming down the stairs, and then he said he was off to work. And as soon as Carl was gone, Lily's mom looked over at her and said, come on, let's go out and have a mother-daughter shopping day. And then a minute later, she and her mom climbed into her mom's yellow Mini Cooper car and they headed out. About 2 hours later, a local jogger was running in the same neighborhood as where Lily and her family lived. They noticed there was this yellow Mini Cooper car sitting on the side of the road, but it was still on. And they saw two women in the front two seats of this car slumped over. The two women were Lily and her mother. Police were called, they were rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. They both died. The police would begin their investigation into their deaths by searching the yellow Mini Cooper car. And when they searched it, there really was nothing of note inside of it. For the next 6 months, the police tirelessly looked for some lead, but it just didn't make sense. Nobody had any idea what happened to these two women. The detectives decided to just go back to the Mini Cooper and see if maybe they missed something. And sure enough, they had. When police originally searched Lily's mom's car, they found the two women's purses and also some basic exercise equipment in the trunk, specifically a deflated yoga ball. And at the time, the police didn't think anything of these items. It would turn out the yoga ball did have something to do with it. 2 days before the women were found dead, that yoga ball was inside of Lily's home. In fact, when she walked into the home gym and saw her dad, he was using that yoga ball. He had taken that yoga ball to the hospital where he worked and filled it with carbon monoxide, an odorless, colorless, poisonous gas. And his plan was to put the yoga ball in his wife's car, unplug it, and now it's sealed and the gas is gonna leak inside the car. And then when his wife got in the car and shut the door, she would effectively suffocate and die. He didn't try to kill his daughter though. He wanted her to stay home and study, i.e. don't go with your mom and get in the car. But the mother defied the father, brought the daughter along, and then after driving for only a mile, the two women collapsed and died. Ka Kim Sun was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. He was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. He has never explained his motive.
Wow. So the dude took a yoga ball, filled it with carbon monoxide. And you're like, well, what's carbon? If you're not familiar with carbon monoxide, think of people who kill themselves. I'm sorry, people who self-delete. In the old days, anyway, they used to take a hose, right, and they put it in the tailpipe, and then they'd put it in the car somehow, like roll it up in the window or something, and maybe if I get a little, there we go. Let's try this a little bit. No, Billy, I'm not your real dad. Hang on, that one's. Hang on a second. God damn it. I ate nothing. All right, that's a little better. Yeah, so, and they never found out why the dude killed his wife. He must have been having an affair or something, and he didn't want to do a divorce. I don't know how they do it in Hong Kong. Captain Peon, what's going on? Shane who? You talking about James Dean? Don't jinx us, Charlie. This thing for the last 3 shows, I would go about an hour and then so anyway, we haven't been gone. We're only been on 53 minutes so far. So, but keep your fingers crossed. You got Acapulco Gold. It's Acapulco Gold, man. Most of us would never express our worst hurts or experiences honestly for fear of judgment appraisal. Yeah. We live in a very judgmental world now, right? And for the dumbest reasons too. Just mind your business on all this shit. These fucking Karens trying to get in your business. We got another video here. This is the channel is Tyler Boone, but I think this group is Axis of Awesome. And when are we going to run out of songs? I think we already have. You think we've run out of songs, like original songs? Because there's only so many chords and so many, variations that you can play them. There's a finite number. So you a lot of times you hear songs that sound very similar, and this is what this young gentleman here on the keyboard is pointing out here.
What's a 4-chord song, Benny?
Well, if you want all the greatest hits from the past 40 years, just use 4 chords. Same 4 chords for every song. It's dead simple to write a pop hit.
Just 4?
Yeah, these 4. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4 chords.
Sorry, let me get this straight, Chicken Little. What you're trying to say is you can take those 4 chords, repeat them, and pump out every pop song ever. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off, Chicken Little.
Just listen. Do you recognise this?
Yeah, that is Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Great song.
Very original.
There's a few more that
song.
fit. Check it out.
My life is brilliant, my love is pure. I saw an angel, of that I'm sure.
Well, that's just 2 songs that are similar. That's
Forever young,
3
I
songs.
wanna be forever young. I won't hesitate no more.
Yeah, so it's like 8 million versions of that. Oh, you were talking about Shane, Citizen Shane. Yeah, our buddy Shane down south. He committed self deletion with he sealed himself in his bedroom, and he lit 2 smoker grills, and he ended up taking his life that way through carbon monoxide poisoning. So, and that's how a lot of people would do it, because it's odorless. You just fall asleep and that's it, and you're dead. Very sad to see that happen to anybody. And my buddy Shane was a very good friend, and suicide is not the thing. It may seem like it, but we need you. So if you're thinking about it, please don't do that. The Bare Naked Ladies didn't do it in 15/4 time. Jackie and myself had a similar conversation about similar sounding song. Yeah, it's all been done. I always confuse is Bare Naked Ladies the one with John Popper? See, I always confuse those two. There's Bare Naked Ladies and the band with John. Who's the band with John Popper? 'Cause the heart brings you back. Blues Traveler. That's who that is. Blues Traveler. I always get Bare Naked Ladies and Blues Traveler confused. What's your background? You've been promoted to me, but the first time clicking on your vids, not to send you off on a tangent, and obviously it's your life. I used to be, I worked in news. I'm down south. I was a news producer. I worked on both sides of the camera at one point, doing reporting, doing producing, doing videography, putting news shows together, that sort of thing. Worked in radio too. So I am down for journalism, and I am not down for censorship at all. So, so that's pretty much where I come from. I grew up down south where it's very conservative, but, I was a Jimmy Carter fan because he helped my dad, because my dad was a naval veteran who was trying to get his veterans benefits, and the Ford and the Nixon administration weren't doing anything. And, Jimmy Carter was a veteran. He came along and, and he was help the veterans, and so at that point in my life, I didn't know anything about politics. I was just like, oh, Jimmy Carter, he's a Democrat. The Democrats must be good people. I know. So heavy set lead singers all look the same to you, you fattest. I'm not a fattest. I'm just saying. No, the sounds. See, now you're just assuming that it's about, that kind of thing. Anyway, so we got more stuff here. This might be a pretty long show if the stream gods cooperate with us tonight. Maybe make up for the last few days where it went tits up. I like animals. Sometimes I like the ones that don't kill me, and the ones that do kill you, if they're safe somewhere else, that's fine. But this is some animal facts I think you might enjoy, because we don't have a Jim Fowler that we can invite on the show, so we just have animal videos that you can enjoy.
Facts about animals that will blow your mind. Number 1, the kakapo is the world's heaviest parrot. It's so chunky it can't even fly.
Look, it's John Popper, Rick. I'm sorry, that was terrible.
It weighs as much as a cat. Number 2, the American kangaroo rat never drinks water. Not a drop, ever. Number 3, the eagle, a straight-up beast. It can carry 6 kilograms into the sky. That's record-breaking power. Number 4, ostriches can literally crush lions with their legs. Don't mess with bird legs. Number 5, two-headed snakes exist, and sometimes they fight each other over food. 0 teamwork. Number 6, a parrot can take off so fast it could fly across Delhi in just 50 minutes. Number 7, an elephant never forgets friend or enemy, ever. Number 8, dolphins are the only fish that can imitate humans. And yes, they're technically mammals, but still wild. Number 9, mosquitoes don't just suck your blood. They pee on your skin right after. Yeah, let that sink in.
Mosquitoes are the assholes of the insect world. They steal your blood, they make your skin itchy, and then they pee on you. I'm gonna piss on you. They're the R. Kelly of the of the insect world.
This is dick crazy.
Yeah, kinda. You're pee-peeing on people. It's not a nipple fetish, it's a pee-pee fetish. Folks, I want to remind you, if you hadn't noticed, we have a little poll going on here. I'm trying to do polls for this show now, and kind of keep it on the adult level. So it's late night. We don't have to do Mr. Rogers shit. So our question tonight is, what is your favorite sexual position? So far we have other. Some people doing some wild shit out there. At 63%, doggy style at 21, cowgirl at 11, and what? 69 at 5%? I'm very disappointed in that. Skeeters do not bite if you don't eat carbs. Really? Interesting. I know they're drawn to sweets. You're going to have to teach? No. I mean, I know other position. I'm just saying that the poll only gives you 4 options, so at the most. Doing polls. You doing polls as in Southside Polacks? You're very terrible. But that's why I love you. Golden shower mosquitoes. I know, right? Drip, drip, drip. 69 in college, I feel it's a young man's game. Look, 69 is easy for a man. All you gotta do is just lay there, man, and then she just lays on you. You know, you just go to town, have fun. Tristan says, thank you. Honestly, please consider looking into the American Communist Party. We're under attack because we pose a threat, unlike controlled opposition like the DSA and PSL. I know the Communist Party is doing good things because you know, a lot of the right people hate them. Oh, I see what you're saying there. But Tristan, I appreciate you. If you want to hang out, you know, we do this every Saturday night, and I do a morning show on Tuesdays and Fridays too with news and stuff. So if you want to hang out for that too, and get your information on, that would be cool as well. So yeah, we'll check in with the poll later, and we'll maybe towards the end of the show we can talk about some of your favorite sexual positions. You can tell your uncle. It's fine. It's not a weird thing. Well, maybe it is. It's kind of a weird thing. So that was Animal Facts. That was from Beastly Bits Q31 on the YouTubes. This next one, I told you, is about Atlantis, not the man from Atlantis, if you're old enough to get that reference. All right, Tristan, be good. Ben Shapiro is obviously bad in bed. His wife never gotten wet. Maybe he just has a dry tongue. You know? I don't know.
And that's why I'm crazy as fuck.
Yeah, maybe he's like that kangaroo mouse that doesn't drink water. You know, his tongue's always dry, you know, and he's getting down there, he's like, you know, and it's just like, you know, you're like trying to lick somebody's pussy with sandpaper. That's no good. What's our next one here? We have our next item up for bid. So, this one is about Atlantean metal. This is from Ramses the Pigeon. Ramses the Pigeon on your local YouTubes. Talking about Atlantean metal. I think this is the right one. Let's watch.
Facts about animals that will blow.
Nope, sorry. I got cocky. There we go. Okay. See, I'm screwing up. At least the internet's not screwing up. Knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood. So talking about metal that came from Atlantis. This is some fascinating shit.
This metal came from Atlantis. That's one of the myths about it anyway, and ever since Plato mentioned it in Critias, this golden substance has enchanted humanity. It shows up as a crafting component in video games, a magical resource in novels, and a ham-fisted plot point in not very good movies. You may have noticed that I'm only referencing fiction, and that's because a lot of people assume that it doesn't exist. Since I'm holding some though, you may have guessed that it's actually real. This is orichalcum.
No, it isn't!
You can probably name at least one fictional metal, and it might even have a real-world analog. Mithril is a light, strong, and easily enchanted material that sounds an awful lot like aluminum, and adamantium is a dense, practically indestructible substance that bears a pretty close resemblance to tungsten. For the most part, these metals were invented in the 20th century. Mithril was first mentioned in The Lord of the Rings, and adamantium made its debut in a 1969 issue of The Avengers.
Nice.
Orichalcum is a different story. It's a whole lot older, it doesn't seem like it has an equivalent, and it was allegedly a complete mystery for millennia. But if you go digging for facts about that last point, you'll fall down a rabbit hole of contradictions, misquotations, and straight-up lies. By the way, the term straight up needs to be hyphenated in that context. Hyphens turn multi-word phrases into single parts of speech, so if straight up is supposed to be an adjective like pure, it needs a hyphen. Without the hyphen, straight up lies uses straight up as a naughty-sounding direction.
He used to ram things up there!
Anyway, the story of orichalcum is a myth about a myth. It's a bit convoluted, so bear with me for a second. In 2015, some orichalcum ingots were recovered from an ancient shipwreck. The internet went nuts, spellbound by the idea that the Atlantean metal had finally been discovered. People even cited Pliny the Elder, claiming that he had described orichalcum as a fantastic substance that had somehow disappeared from the world. There was only one problem. What he actually wrote was that mines of naturally occurring orichalcum had been depleted, and that passage shows up in a chapter called The Different Kinds of Copper. As for the ancient shipwreck, how would anyone have known that the ingots were orichalcum unless we already had something to compare them to?
Woo! I never thought of that.
The truth of the matter is that orichalcum was never actually a mystery at all. Yes, it shows up in countless legends and works of fiction, and one of those was likely your first introduction to the stuff, but we've been making it for thousands of years. You probably have some in your house right now. Those ancient ingots didn't prove that it was real. They just gave us insight into the original recipe. Mix 8 parts copper, 2 parts zinc, and a pinch of impurities, and you have an alloy that's been used in everything from coins to candlesticks. In case that isn't clear, I'll be direct. The mythical metal that Plato called orichalcum is really just straight up brass.
Straight up. I didn't know that about the straight up. I never hyphenated it. I think that's kind of, kind of a snobby. I'm not a fan of that. You guys believe that Atlantis actually existed? Look, if you check out what's his name, Graham Hancock, if you want to go down a rabbit hole about like ancient civilizations and stuff like that, check out. I'm not a really big fan of Joe Rogan. If you like him, that's fine. I don't really care. But I used to like to watch his DMT stuff. But now recently it's just a lot of shit. But when he has Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson on, I'm watching that shit all the way through because they talk about the Younger Dryas and the great floods around the world. It's awesome. Yeah, Lemuria, Mu, as it's often called, this continent that was connected to India, right? I think it connected like all the Indonesia and stuff. The islands there had been like one solid continent. The one they think it was either there or in the Pacific, because you have like Easter Island is like down here, and then you go over here and you have Hawaii, like, but they said that Hawaii and Easter Island have similar things that only could occur if it was on a solid continent. It's some really fascinating shit. Finger man, finger man, finger man, finger man. What's up, buddy? I don't think Atlantis is a thing as much Isle of Lemuria is the esoteric place. They said, well, if there was shit around, we would know it, right? Like, I'm talking like millions of years ago, if there was like fuckers on this planet, like humanoids or, whatever. I don't know. There's lots of great coastline and historical places too. Yeah, so I don't know, some fascinating stuff. I may do a show. I want to bring back Mundus Ultra, where I do all like the paranormal and cool stories and stuff like that, but I need to retool it. Anunnaki, yes, that's another one. Come to Earth 400,000 years ago to mine gold so they can fix their atmosphere. And you're like, what is gold going to do in the atmosphere? If you grind up gold really fine and you put it in the atmosphere, it actually like soaks up radiation and stuff like that. It's actually pretty cool. It's just a little pricey. But they came here 400,000 years ago and genetically altered humanoid like hominids and turned them into Homo sapiens and got them to mine gold for them, because the people that they brought with them, the Agigi, had said, fuck it, we're not digging. They just beat them and told them, you got to dig all this gold. It's look up Zachariah Sitchin. Look up, what is it, The 12th Planet? Is that one of his books? Sumerian legends, that sort of thing. It's really, yeah, Nibiru. I'm all down. I am all in on that wild shit too. I mean, because the scientists say that they think there's a big ass planet somewhere out there that's messing with the orbits of Neptune and Uranus, and other planets too, right? I don't know if you guys watch the Y-Files, but Y-Files is a pretty good show. And they had their recent episode was talking about how the asteroid belt was originally, there was a planet, like a big planet in the path of the asteroid belt, and somehow this planet exploded like millions of years ago and fucked everything up in the solar system. It made Venus spin backwards. It made is it Neptune or Uranus that spins like this instead of spinning like this? Yeah, it's some wild shit. And they're like, and a lot of scientists said, well, there's not enough asteroids in the asteroid belt to make up a planet, probably like 5% of a planet. And it's like, well, I would think if a planet exploded like that, pieces would just go everywhere, right? They ain't gonna stay put. Anyway, that's some food for thought. We're gonna get back to some more videos here. You're really sorry about Maldek? Oh, did you see that one? Yeah, Maldek was the name of the planet, right? There was another planet they talked about too. Satellites are really just wingless balloons. I'd like to think the Earth is flat. I'm really hoping the Earth is flat now. I don't think it is, but you know, I can still dream. I'm pour one out for Maldek. And Maldek from his home slices. Nephilim are real, and in Genesis, the bastard children of ladies who banged sky dudes. Yes, Cooper. I always tell people, I think the book of Genesis and the book of Revelations are two of the best sci-fi shows you can ever have. If the Earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off the edge by now. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I know, right? The flat earthers are crazy, man. They're like, they think that's like the Earth is this big plate, and then there's ice. That Antarctica is the ice rim around it. The cats would have knocked everything up. The Earth is flat, but it's in a curved space. I tell you, man, people like, how does gravity work? Really, if you think about it, like if you take like say you have a a trampoline, right? And you stick a bowling ball in the middle of the trampoline, right? So you got the trampoline will kind of go down like this, and then when it gets to the bowling ball, it'll dip down because of the weight of the bowling ball, right? And if you throw like a marble or something in there, it'll get in that little ditch that's made, but it'll go around it, right? It'll go zoop, 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 zoop. That happens in fluids too. You can have like something rotating in fluid, and then something gets caught in its orbit. That's why I think maybe like the space may actually be some sort of fluid or something like that. Not jizz though. It's probably not. I hope it's not jizz. That would be awful. I love comedian Jim Brewer. Right. He just always seems to. He's like a nutty guy, but he always seems to have some common sense when it comes to shit. And he does really good impressions too. I didn't know if you knew that or not. If you don't know, he did Goat Boy on Saturday Night Live, and he was also in Half Baked too. If you haven't seen that movie, it's fun. So, but this is Jim Brewer talking about his dad meeting Sylvester Stallone. I thought this was funny as hell. And his impression of Stallone is, wow, it's really good.
My dad got to meet Sylvester Stallone. That was probably the funniest moment of all Saturday Night Live that was never filmed. My dad, World War II vet, shuffles around. I'm like, Sylvester Stallone, do you mind meeting my dad? He's like, absolutely, I'd love to. Mr. Brewer, what's going on? And my father's like, hey, what's up, Sylvester? How's it hanging? A little to the left? Hey, your father's hilarious. And my father's like, Sylvester, I read somewhere you got a place in Florida. Is that true? As a matter of fact, I got this place. Yeah, it's in Hollywood, Florida, believe it or not. That's right, I've been to Florida where he had and somebody got pregnant. Oh, father's talking, relax. So my dad goes, hey, they got an Elks Club where you're at, Sylvester? $1.99 beer, all you can drink, and $2 is spaghetti night every Wednesday night. Spaghetti, and I make the meatballs. Elks is a good... Sylvester, is he being serious? What do you mean, like a moose? What's it about? A moose? Yeah, $1.99. All you can drink, spaghetti night, good time, Elks Club. Sylvester's like, listen, I don't know what you mean by no Elks Club, but the next time you're with me, Mr. B, I'll bring you to my place, Planet Hollywood. Yeah, been there. $20 a beer, $40 a burger. Yeah, I'm taking you to the Elks. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, is he being serious over here? Shout out to Moose. Moose was here. Did Moose go to sleep? What? Jesus, see? Uncle Warren, what do F you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you drinking? That's very... Hey, might be Sylvester Stallone, you never know, right? Yeah, yo Mick, hey, yo Mick. Oh, you're here? Okay, Anonymous. Having his fun over there. It's so funny, like, the people in UK are going through kind of similar what we're going through over here, just idiot people in charge, just fucking Zionist pieces of shit. So who was that? So that was Jim Brewer. That was from his channel. So this next one's from, we got more animals because I love some animals. Even the band, The Animals. House of the Rising Sun. This is Animals Discover channel. And you hammered. When you're slurring in the chat, I know you're sauced. Okay. You got your PS5 on? Is that drug code? We don't do slang around here, Moose. I don't know if that's some sort of British thing. It's like you call chips, you call French fries chips, you call cigarettes fags, you call, I don't know. I got nothing. So this is wild. This is apparently a bulletproof fish. So if you're one of these people that like to go out and instead of using a fishing pole and you like to use bullets instead, well, you're not going to catch this motherfucker. This is some crazy shit. Bulletproof fish.
Even crocodiles don't mess with this fish. And if a crocodile, literally a prehistoric killing machine, decides, nah, I'm not dealing with that, you know this fish isn't normal. This is the arapaima, and it might be the most disrespectful animal in freshwater. Over 10 feet long, close to 450 pounds, and somehow still faster than you expect. But here's the wildest part. Its scales are bulletproof. Not tough, not armored. Tested in labs. Same materials used in body armor. People have literally swung machetes at it. And the fish just stood there like, was that supposed to do something? Its skull might as well be made of concrete and pure ego. And if you think the danger ends when it's out of the water, think again. And just when you think you've won, you've pulled it out of the water, it's lying there, motionless. It moves. Because the arapaima can survive a full 24 hours out of the water. It breathes air. It waits. And it still has power. Fishermen have reported it suddenly thrashing in boats, not flopping, fighting. One swing of its tail is enough to break ribs, just from trying to lift or handle it the wrong way. It's over 440 pounds of pure muscle, and if you're not ready, it will flatten you. You don't catch an arapaima, you survive it.
That sounds like some Florida shit right there. I've never heard of a bulletproof fish. I mean, if you're shooting fish in a barrel, that's supposed to be a metaphor for something easy. But if you shoot that fish in a barrel, that bullet probably ricochet and kill you instead. Okay. Yeah, the mystery. I think you're right. I'd rather be cool. I'd rather be cool with any kind of fish that, you know, is just basically nature's Kevlar. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that either. So we got I just go through randomly and I just kind of hit the scroll button and go through the shorts, you know, and just something random pops up. And it's kind of cool that you randomly come up and it's like, hey, look, bulletproof fish. I'm like, okay, fuck it. The kids might like that. Our next item up for bids is our dude from Morbid Facts, who he has a cool mustache. He's like baby Burt Reynolds. And but this week he's got is Unbreakable World Records. And he's going to tell us about all of those right now.
Here are some world records that are so insane they'll probably never be broken. A world world record for alcohol consumption was set by pro wrestler Andre the Giant. The 7'4", 500-pound monster once drank 156 beers in one sitting, which is just under 15 gallons. The tallest man in recorded history was a man from Illinois named Robert Wadlow. A mutated pituitary gland resulted in his breathtaking height of 8'11".
This is, if you can't see this guy here, this is Shaquille O'Neal, right? Shaquille O'Neal is like 7 foot something. And look how tall this guy was.
Weighing 440 pounds with a shoe size of 36.
A shoe size.
In 1940, he died at the young age of 22 from a septic blister on his ankle caused by a poorly fitted iron brace. The world record for the most babies born to one woman is 69. Mrs. Vasilyeva from Russia gave birth to 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
In 1939, 5-year-old Lena Medina became the youngest confirmed person to ever give birth. Her son was born by C-section and was raised as her brother. Medina is still alive today, but has never revealed the father nor the circumstances of her pregnancy.
Damn. Got knocked up at 5. That's horrible. Yeah, the story about Andre the Giant is crazy. I can't remember who's it. I think maybe it was Hulk Hogan or some other that had went out with him, and he was just pounding back beers like they were shots, right? Yeah, Andre was awesome. Yeah, pretty much. Everything online is designed for clicks. Nothing is real. That's a lot of hooch, Wes. That is a lot of. I've drank a 6-pack. And was like, whoa, that's a bit much. I think maybe I may have drank a 12-pack at the most at one time, and it was not a good scene. Booney broke that beer record on a flight from Sri Lanka to Melbourne. Who's Booney? Is it Richard Boone? Yeah, so I don't, yeah, 156 beers. God, what do you say, 15, 16 gallons? Nutty. But if it's beer, at least it's not whiskey. If it had been 15 gallons of whiskey, he probably would have died that night. But he was a big fucking dude, man. 500 pounds. And not all fat either. Dude was like, you know, he's pretty fucking big. You know, I like, I don't know if you ever played that, I don't know if you call it a game, but it's kind of a simulation. What is it, like Universe Sandbox or something like that? Where you can make all kinds of like scenarios and stuff. Like if you want to put like 5 Earths around the sun, or if you want to turn, you know, the moon into a black hole, shit like that. Oh, David Boone. David Boone? Interesting. I know a David Boone. No, I know a Richard Boone. Never mind. Anyway, so this next video is from Simulaverse, and they do these kind of things, these little scenarios. So this one is crashing, was it Jupiter's moon, Titan, into Mars to see what happens, and it's kind of cool.
Crash Titan into Mars and see what happens. All right, let's slam Saturn's largest moon into the red planet.
Oh,
As
Saturn's
Titan
moon.
crashes into Mars, the collision releases energy millions of times greater than the dinosaur-killing asteroid. The impact instantly vaporizes both Titan's icy surface and Mars's crust, creating a molten, glowing hellscape wrapped in a thick cloud of superheated gas. Over the next few years, Titan's vast subsurface ocean, containing 12 times more water than all Earth's oceans combined, rains down onto Mars. This incredible deluge transforms the red planet into a blue water world with oceans over 36 kilometers deep. Despite the blue oceans, the atmosphere retains a distinctive reddish glow around the edges. This crimson halo comes from iron-rich dust suspended in the upper atmosphere, the last visible remnant of the original red planet. The collision also speeds up Mars's rotation and dramatically tilts its axis to about 45 degrees, creating wild, seasonal changes across this new world. The most significant change is the thick atmosphere, nearly 3 times denser than Earth's. Mars. This creates a runaway greenhouse effect of 149 degrees, trapping heat like a supercharged version of Venus. Despite being farther from the sun than Earth, surface temperatures soar to 80 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cook food without fire. This blue world with its red atmospheric glow might look beautiful from space, but it's actually a hot, violent paradise where life as we know it would struggle to survive.
All right, so if you want to turn Mars back into a water world, you just got to go out there and lasso Titan and throw it on there, and everything will be good. Maybe, probably not. You're calling bullshit? No, this is just a simulation. It's not like if you could actually put Titan into Mars like that. But the theory that Mars was actually a moon of Maldek, that was the one, Bella? Is kind of fascinating, because they also talk about like how our moon, if you look at our moon, on one side of the moon it's kind of smooth, not very many craters and stuff like that, but I think on the far side of the moon, that's where all like the big ass craters, and it just looks like it got beat to hell because it's tidally locked to the Earth, right? The same side of the moon always faces the Earth. And so they think that Mars was tidally locked to this planet Maldek, and then when Maldek exploded, it it kind of just sent Mars into this weird orbit, and they said that one side of Mars is kind of smooth, and the other side of Mars has like all these mountains and just craters and shit like that, kind of like a tidally locked moon. So it'd be very interesting if you had a time machine and you could go back like 4.5 billion years. First off, don't do that, because you'd land on Earth that was molten and you'd probably die. But to see what's going on would be cool. Hey, would you eat the moon if it was made of spare ribs? Hell, I would. I'd chase it down with a cold Budweiser. Hey, Cubs win. Cubs win. No, Maldek, not Malbec. Maldek. Elon Musk said shooting nukes at Mars would create an ecosystem. See, did you say, I thought Mars spooged Titan? What? You can't nuke Mars. Although there was this guy, what was his name? John Brandenburg, this scientist. He was a very respected scientist too. And he seems to believe that sometime in the past that Mars was like nuked because of this xenon 216 or something, some element that is only created by nuclear explosions, and that there are pockets that are more concentrated of that on Mars, and they think, and Brandenburg's theory that it wasn't nukes, people on the planet nuking each other. It was like something from space, like some other entity or some other whatever blasted it with like this nuclear radiation and stuff and fucked up the planet. Constant dust storms at the equator on Mars is what they say now. Yeah. I still think that face on Mars has got to be something. I gotta believe that, was it like in the early 90s or early 2000s, they finally got a clearer picture of the face, a clearer picture that looked like they photoshopped that fucker to make it look fucked up. Which is funny. In that video, in the Y-Files video, they talk about, who is it, Jack Kirby? And he did a comic book about it was called The Face on Mars. And this is before they saw the face on Mars back in the 70s. And the comic book was like, it was his face, and these giants had made these, these things, made these civilizations, and they got blown to hell. They got a portal to hell there. Anyway, I'm always fascinated with space stuff. I always wonder what's out there. Although at this point, I don't think humans should go into space. I don't think we should colonize the space. Look what we're doing to this place. Do you want space Zionists? I don't think you do. You might, but you say you do in theory, but in practice, It isn't a good thing. Anyway, so coming up next here, this is Chinese Fire. This is by Lumi Farm, Lumi Farm. And this is actually, you know, once the lights go out, once the EMPs hit, once the coronal mass ejections come here and fuck everything up, this might come in handy. So check this out. This is really cool how this is made.
In ancient times, before lighters existed, how did the ancient Chinese preserve fire? First, they scraped crystalline salt from old brick walls, collected sweet potato vines from the fields, removed the leaves, and soaked them in water for 3 days. Then, they cut a small bamboo segment, carved a groove, shaped a tightly fitting lid, drilled a small hole for oxygen flow, and dried it in the sun. They also prepared some reed flower fibers. After soaking, the potato vines were beaten, mixed with shredded cotton and reed flower fibers, beaten again into a uniformly thin layer, and then dried. Charcoal was ground into powder and mixed with crystalline salt to test combustibility. Pine resin was also finely ground. Finally, they sprinkled layers of crystalline salt, sulfur, pine resin, and camphor onto the dried fiber layer, rolled it up, and placed it into the bamboo tube. When needed, they simply lit it and sealed the lid. To ignite, one would open the lid and gently blow. The flame would quickly flare up.
That's some wild shit. That's some stoner engineering right there. Yo, man, you have a lighter, bro? No, man. Well, here, man, I've got some bamboo and some dried cotton, and I mean, all that shit, all them chemicals. That looked like that dude was making crystal meth. But he was making a candle. And the thing is, you put the cap on, and it goes out, and then you pull the cap off, and and it lights up again. That's some cool. Yeah, it's a blunt starter kit. You think launching bimbos into space might still have some merit? We need space bimbos, I think. I don't know how you feel. But space bimbos is kind of a cool, I think they should do Star Trek bimbos where it's just the women from Star Trek and they're all doing crazy things. This is from Cool Animations 123. I think these are some of the same people that do like the Office cartoons where the boss is talking to the employee and the employee sets the boss straight because the boss is dumb shit. You got a lighter? Yes, but give me a week. Well, yeah, it takes a while to build the thing, but once you build it, I'm sure it lasts a little while. So, I don't know if you guys living there could speed up osteoporosis. Sounds fun. I don't know if you guys ever saw that show, The Expanse, right? And they had people. This is like, you know, the not too distant future, and but Mars has been colonized, right? And people are born on Mars and are raised on Mars. But when they come to Earth, because the gravity is so much more, they use the gravity, you know, like the Martian people, they're humans, but they're Martians. They had to wear like special like exosuits or something so they could withstand the gravity, because otherwise they'd just be, you know, just fucked up and shit. It's really interesting. The Expanse is probably one of my favorite sci-fi shows. Probably, if not my favorite. But you know, Star Trek, I gotta give my love to my lady. So anyway, this is like I said, this is Cool Animations 123, and this guy's talking about Five Guys, but this lady's thinking of something else.
I was thinking Five Guys.
Five Guys?
Yeah, isn't that exciting? It's so good.
It's so good?
Yeah,
no,
Five Guys?
No, that's not exciting. That's a lot to like throw on somebody.
Not
like
really.
right in the moment.
What do you mean it's normal?
It's normal?
Yeah.
Who's normally doing this?
Thousands of Americans a day? Five Guys?
And you are okay with this? Like, you're just like
100%.
trying to, it's like throwing me to the wolves right now.
5 of them, I guess.
Yeah, your guess is right.
So are you in?
You know what? If everybody's doing it, sure, I'll give it a try. As long as I can pick them.
Yeah, you can pick whatever you want.
Okay, good. I think I have
their numbers in my phone, actually, if you want to, like, go through, scroll through, and...
Wait, what? Five Guys, the restaurant?
A restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh. Right. Yeah, I like burgers and fries and...
She was talking about 5 peepees. She thought she was going to have to do it with 5 guys. Oh, my God. That's some funny shit. I was thinking 5 guys. She's like, wait, what? Hold on there, mister. Exactly, yeah. Wait, what? Moving on here. We have lots more videos for you. We're going to be going all night. Probably not. Maybe another hour, maybe. I think something like that. So this is a Dorian Deck. This is a weird name, but he always has some cool rando fun facts, and he's got more for us right now.
Let me tell you about some interesting things that I just learned today. The average American worker takes less days off than the average medieval peasant did. The average American uses their first curse word of the day at 10:54 a.m. This man created a dating app where no men are allowed except for him. Can only imagine how that went. A restaurant during COVID temporarily renamed menu items as office supplies so customers could expense their meals during remote work. That's genius, honestly. A father in 2013 hired gamers to keep killing his 23-year-old son in video games so that he would start looking for a job and get a life. The world's largest rubber ducky is 61 feet tall and weighs more than 15 tons. Why you gotta weigh so much? Oh my goodness, what are you made of? India is home to the only 2 vegetarian McDonald's in the world.
Vegetarian McDonald's. That's like saying diet shit. we have a lot of calories in this shit, or you can have some of this, sugar-free diet shit. I know, right? Hey, Luis, what's up there, boy? That's Bones. You crazy mofo. That fewer days, people get fewer days off than peasants. Medieval peasants had more days off than you or I in this world. I think that's some inspirational shit. Yay, capitalism. Been a long day, gonna crash out, big love. Appreciate you, Bella. Get some sleep. Hey, we still got some diehards here. That's good. Bella's an old guy. He's got to go get his beauty sleep. Really knew a guy who managed to claim his cats as dependents in the 1970s. Back then it was a lot easier. Now you gotta think something else. You gotta do something else. I like this guy. This next guy, his name is Tim David Kelly, and he's in a band called Kicking Harold. But he does these videos about just basically like rock history. Always has some cool stories, and this one I think is about. Well, you'll see what it's about. It's fun stuff.
Never flush the good stuff. Back in 1972, a world-famous rock band was renting a house while they wrote songs for their new album. The mansion was in a super rich area of LA called Bel Air, and it had all the bells and whistles. On one particular day, the lead singer was warm, so he went over to the air conditioning thermostat, pushed the button, and then went back to his 2 magic bowls that contained the good stuff. A giant bowl of white stuff and a giant bowl of green stuff. Then seemingly out of nowhere, there were 6 cop cars in the driveway. The lead singer freaked out and screamed, "It's a raid!" He grabbed his favorite bowl and his roadie and ran to the bathroom to flush it. But he couldn't do it because it was the good stuff. So he and his roadie put as much of it up their nose as they could, not realizing the cops had already left. They weren't after the good stuff at all. Ozzy had triggered the alarm instead of turning on the air conditioning.
Ozzy was high for 5 days after. That's a great story. Like, the cops are coming, but it's like, oh, this shit is too good. And then they're like, no, you hit the wrong button, stupid. Delightful. I love stuff like that. Yeah, that's who is that? Tim David Kelly. I've never heard of the band Kicking Harold, but I should probably look them up, see if I can score some free music. Ha! I'm always looking for free music. So yeah, if you're a musician, by the way, you haven't gotten a paid, album yet or anything like that, and or maybe you're just somebody, you're just somebody that just fucks around and plays music, send it to me. I'll play it on the show, get a few people to listen to it. So, ExtraBulla@gmail.com. Just let me know. And, we'll play your stuff. This next one is this lovely couple. Her name is, Jennifer Harrison, and her, I think it's her husband, Michael. And I like these married couples. I like married couples in general. I think, a lot of my friends are married couples, and they're very sweet people, and they love each other, and it's great. And I'm like, that's awesome. But I love some dirty-minded people, and that's what these two are here. And they're talking about a box of tissues. Wait, what?
Jen.
Yes.
Did you know that there is a big difference between a woman saying, I went through a box of tissues watching that movie, versus a man saying, I went through a box of tissues watching that movie?
Michael, no.
Yeah. Oh, skeet, skeet, skeet. Skeet, skeet. Yeah, that deserves one of these. There we go. Going through a box of tissues, watching a movie. That's okay. Dougie, our buddy Doug Sharp. This is a fun little Hollywood story if you're into that sort of thing. About basically, there's actors and actresses in Hollywood. They're the character actors, right? You kind of see them. They're scene stealers, or maybe they're just like, just kind of like a side character or something like that. We call them it's like that guy. Hey, you're one of those that guys, or you're one of those that girls. Blonde Flake was pure in the olden days. But so there's a particular character actor who is he always has the same name in his movies, and he's considered to be an ultimate Hector. If let me let our buddy Doug Sharp explain.
Fun fact. This is the ultimate Hector. This is actor Noel Guglielmi, and he's played a character named Hector in 12 different movies and TV shows, most notably playing Hector in the Fast and Furious franchise.
They call me Hector.
But you definitely recognize him as the generic Latino gangster from multiple different movies like Training Day or Bruce Almighty. Whenever Hollywood needs a Southern California Latino gangster, they call Noel. In an interview, Noel did say he had a desire to play different roles and didn't want to be stereotyped, saying he wanted to play a father or a probation officer who turned his life around, and that he admired actors who could change completely depending on the role they were playing. But Hollywood never gave him the opportunity, so he decided to play the roles he was given and make as many connections as he could so more doors would open and people could hear his voice, which is exactly what he did. For years, Noel has traveled around California, speaking in schools, warning young children and teenagers about the dangers of gang life and criminal activity, saying he wants to use his life in a good way to help people make the right decisions and stay out of jail, and that helping people is his passion.
The ultimate Hector. So he's played a guy named Hector in 12 different movies. So he ought to be pretty used to, like, knowing his cues, kind of thing there. So that was Doug Sharp. Again, all of these are on YouTube. If you want to check these out, if you do, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. These are good, fun. Some of them informational, some of them just plain silly. This next one is awful, but it's great because it makes moms blush. We probably should have had this for Mother's Day. Maybe we did. I don't know. But this is dark humor with mom moments, and they're basically just he's telling her jokes and trying to shock her. Basically, I guess this is his guy's son or something like that.
Hey, Mom, who cooks in the lesbian relationship? Neither one. They both eat out.
Hey, Mom. Who's the most popular dude in the nudist colony? The guy holding a cup in each hand and 12 donuts.
Hey, Mom. If a man and a woman need a marriage license to get married, what do two lesbians need? A liquor license. Hey, Mom.
Yes.
What do pools and women have in common?
I suppose something about they're wet. I don't know.
Or they're both expensive to maintain for the amount of time you spend inside of them.
Hey, Mom. How did Burger King get Dairy Queen pregnant? He forgot to wrap his Whopper.
When you can make old people blush, that's a solid talent right there. That was what was it from? Pure Ranking. They do like those. I'm not really into the ranking videos, but this one was pretty good with making the old people go, wait, what? Another fan favorite here on the old show. Yeah, that guy Hector's been in everything. He probably gets called Hector a lot too. And he's like, at first, like, I don't want to get stereotyped. And like, well, if I'm making money just being Hector, all right, sure. That sounds good. Our next video up here, we got, I love doing these word origins with, Cody Tucker, on the old YouTubes there. He's a good kid. And, it's fascinating. Where a lot of these words come from that we speak today. And he's got more for us. So get your knowledge on, kids.
The Latin word trado, meaning to hand over, is why someone who hands over information to an enemy is called a traitor. It's also why something handed over from generation to generation is called a tradition. In the 1700s, there was a German physician who believed that the human body contained invisible magnetic fluid, which he called animal magnetism. He believed that this fluid going haywire is what caused a lot of physical and mental illnesses. He began a practice of trying to manipulate this fluid to get it back in order and heal the mind and body. A lot of people in Europe at the time believed that he was onto something until a man named Benjamin Franklin disproved it. That German doctor was named Franz Mesmer, and those under his care were said to be mesmerized.
Boogie, woogie, 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 woogie. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Love that. Love knowing these origin stories like this, right? You know where crap comes from? And correct me if I'm wrong. But the guy who invented the toilet, his last name was Crapper, I think. That's why they get where you get the crap, where you hear the crapper or crap. All right, we got jokes in the chat. Wesley says, why is a pussy like a frying pan? They both get greasy when you slap the meat in. Beautiful. Gray Walker joined third party. How are women like hurricanes? When they come, they are wet and wild, and when they leave, they take the car and the house. Thomas Crapper, ladies and gentlemen, inventor of the shitter. Shitter's full. Cousin Eddie. I tell you, man, I like some space. And I like this chick too. Astro Alexandra is the name of her channel on YouTube. And she's always got some cool fun facts about like space and science and weirdos and kittens and underwear and all kinds of random shit. And there's the thought that we might be living in our universe may actually be inside a gigantic black hole, which is right. So she's going to tell us about that.
Did NASA's James Webb Telescope discover that our universe might exist inside of a black hole? Like, kinda, but emphasis on the might. JWST took images of deep space, so these are all galaxies and they're extremely far away and extremely old, forming in the early universe. Well, researchers at Kansas State University started categorizing how those galaxies were spinning, and they found something startling. They found that 2/3 of these galaxies were spinning in a clockwise rotation and only 1/3 were spinning counterclockwise. That's weird. You would think it would be a pretty even 50-50 split if the conditions were like normal. So the fact that they're not indicates that maybe the conditions weren't normal. There are a bunch of possibilities. One of those possibilities is that the early universe itself was spinning, and so the galaxies just started spinning the same way. One of the ways that could happen is if our universe formed inside of a black hole, which is terrifying to think about because that might mean that we would be inside an even larger universe. This would mean that we would have to rethink a lot of what we thought we knew about the universe, but it is not the only option. This study only looked at 263 galaxies out of billions, so these numbers, they could change. And the researchers think that the rotation of our galaxy might play a role because the Milky Way is in the more rare group of galaxies that's rotating counterclockwise. Researchers say that they expect light coming from galaxies that are rotating opposite of Earth's rotation to be brighter, so maybe we just have an easier time seeing galaxies that are rotating clockwise. Either way, this is a really cool observation that I think a lot more people are going to be looking at in the future, and hopefully we can get some answers. Because right now, the answer is, we don't know.
You don't know. I know. I was in a black hole once, and her boyfriend came home early. It was there. Check out Epic Spaceman on YouTube. Epic Spaceman. Okay. Will do. Thanks for the recommendation. Appreciate you, Bob. Do we live in a black hole? It kind of makes sense. If everything's fucked up in a black hole, everything's fucked up here. So, kind of makes sense. Which way is Elon spinning? He spins where the money takes him. He has a money jet. He just it's a jet made of money, and it flies around. How many we got here? We got 2 more. Okay. So 2 more good ones. One of my favorite ladies on here is the refashioned hippie. And she's very, I have to turn this up because she's a little soft. Like her gigantic breasts. Very soft. Soft-spoken. So she does this thing called bad design. We've done it before here on the show. And she's got more bad designs for us. And we're going to take a listen right now.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bad Design. Why would you call your salon Good Head? This is a misleading sign. This isn't the worst name.
This is sloppy seconds. Heat 35 minutes on 350 from Frozen.
For a reheated product.
Sloppy
It's not
seconds.
the best. But this one?
Uncle Dave's sausage.
We can do better, guys. Also, I have a lot of questions for Uncle Dave. Yeah, I know where it goes. I've been catching flack for...
That says nut cum, but it looks like it's... I know this is segment, but it looks like semen.
Viewing things with an American eye. I know that not every language is catered to me, but... Come on. And finally, I've heard of Knob Creek. Like, sure, haha, a little funny. It's the small batch that gets me. I was once so normal.
Let me see. Where was it? Oh no, what are you doing? Stop it, you. I think it's right over here. Where's she doing it? Come here. So you got all kinds of shit in here. You got this thing that looks like semen. You got nut cum, and then you got cacaolu findick. This says findick. So yes, I'm 13 years old. It's fine. I know my place. Fendick. That sounds like you were up at the crack of dawn a few times. Kate, you going to bed? All right, good night, Kate. But Fendick and was it Dick Cum? What? Fucking, I'm not eating that. There's probably semen in it. That's just all kinds of like, stay away. That's nasty. So finally this evening, well, actually, before we get to that, let's in the chat, if you're brave enough, tell me what your favorite sexual position is. That's not doggy style, cowgirl, or 69. And when I say cowgirl, I also include reverse cowgirl too. I should have put that in there too. If your other is reverse cowgirl, put that in the chat too. So go ahead and put your favorites in there. We're gonna do a solid JJ cartoon. Then we're gonna talk a little bit to close the show out about what kind of freaks of nature you people are in the sack. But this one is of course this is a solid JJ. And they always have some fun, like Marvel and DC parodies on here. And this one is where Spider-Man actually meets Stan Lee. Excelsior.
Hey, Great Handsome, got a second? I got a little turnaround.
Spider-Man in my office? Pam, call Dr. Levitz. It's happening again. The voices, too.
Wait, hold on. I'm the genuine article. Just give me a moment of your time and I'll explain everything.
Ugh! Oh, Jesus Christ!
So, does that explain everything?
Explain? You didn't explain anything. You just swung around for half an hour.
Oh, sorry, I thought the crossfade would resolve that. But look, I was told I'd be able to meet my creator here, and something tells me you're him.
Well, Spidey, you've met your maker. What can I do you for?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that you're an asshole.
What?
My life sucks, man, and that's been you. That's been all you.
This is not going the direction I saw this going.
Everything in my life I thought was some sort of lesson about responsibility, but really it was just some guy writing the funny pages.
Wait, so you're really from the comics? What we wrote really happened to you?
Oh, don't you catch on quick.
Did 9/11 happen?
What?
It's just, did 9/11 happen? Because we did a few issues about it, so...
Yeah, 9/11 happened, okay? I mean, what are you trying... Are you trying to say that could have been avoided,
look,
or...
We're getting sidetracked. What was it you'd like to ask me specifically?
Oh, where do I even begin? Gwen Stacy, George Stacy, Harry Osborn? All dead and for what? Some
Well, actually, those weren't me.
No? Those... I mean, it's pretty early on. I thought surely...
Nope, not a fan of those either.
Huh. Well, how about that mess of a clone saga, huh? My entire life has become a labyrinth of confusing twists.
Not me either.
Really?
Nada. Ooh, nada, man.
Norman being the Green Goblin, Venom, the symbiotes in general.
No.
Aunt May dying, Aunt May coming back, MJ's miscarriage, losing our marriage to the devil.
No, and most definitely not.
Really? None of that was you? I mean, even the stuff with Paul.
Well, what? No, now even I'm a bit out of my depth here.
Oh, geez, Stan, what have you actually done on your own?
Have you ever heard of Stripperella?
Oh, God.
No, it's genius. See, she's a stripper, as you've probably pieced together. But she has this magic belly button ring that...
Okay, I think I'm good. Thanks for nothing, God. Do I even celebrate Christmas anymore? Wait, did you make up Jesus?
Now, hold on just a second, Pete. Maybe it's true. Maybe I didn't pen all the twists and turns in your life. But what I did give you is more important than all of that combined. I gave you your voice.
We don't sound alike at all.
What?
Oh, you meant figuratively.
That's right. You might have not been given an easy path in life. Hell, maybe not even an easy world to begin with. But I gave you, every quip, every monologue. I gave you doubt, uncertainty, fear. I made you human, Pete, and whenever the odds were stacked against you, it was me who'd will you to shout back to hell with the odds and rise to the occasion. With great power comes great responsibility. Where do you think that came from? Off a newspaper?
Appreciate the sentiment, Stan, but what does it matter? None of it's real.
Listen here, true believer. You're more real than me and the rest of the bullpen tied together. You mean a whole lot to a whole lot of people. Believe you me. Even if the pen and paper gets passed around to, well, more names than I can think of, the one thing that's always stayed true is you, kid. And I'm just lucky enough to have been the one to set you in the right direction.
Well, I can't say you aren't good with your words. Maybe there is some hope for this webhead after all.
Excelsior!
Excelsior?
Don't knock the Excelsior, kid.
Oh, sorry, I just didn't. Got it.
Now go on, Spider-Man. There's a city who needs their hero. And if I know you, you're not about to keep them waiting.
You just put the words right in my mouth. Literally. Thanks, Stan. For everything.
Anytime, Spidey. Now go out there and make me proud. And if you ever want to have another chat, you know where to find me.
Spider-Man, there
you are. I've been looking. Wait, what are you doing here? You're supposed to talk with Steve Ditko.
Never come back here again.
Steve Ditko. If you know, you know. No takers? Nobody want to tell us your little secret naughties? It's the middle of the night. Nobody's going to care. Anyway, 23 votes. So let's see. So finally, so our final tally is other 57%. I said we'll discuss, but I guess I assume that you were kind of like to talk about your sex life as much as I do. I'm kidding. Sort of. So Doggy Style 26, Cowgirl 13, and 69, 4%. Very disappointed. I had thought for sure 69 was going to be winner chicken dinner, but instead it was just nothing but hardship and pain. But you know, it's like a wise person once said.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion.
Okay, she probably wasn't that wise. Folks, we are at the end of the show, and no buffering, no fuckery. We made it. We made it. Celebrate. Write this in stone. When you sit around the fire and tell the tales of the olden times, think of this night and think, wow, he actually made it through a show without the motherfuckers cutting it off. No John Wayne Bobbitt for me tonight. My shit's staying put. And anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It was pretty decent. Well, 11, 12, 2-hour show. Not too bad. Thank you to everybody on YouTube and Rockfin, Facebook, Rumble. If you're all watching this later, I appreciate you. Again, if you're new, just like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we have donation links too. If you want to donate to the show, if you want to become a Patreon, you could be there at the top of the show, and with your name up there. And you know, if you can share out the links, that helps too. So, but I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. The after party, hell, it's like late morning in the UK. So, but thanks everybody. Peon, always a pleasure, brother. Yeah. For people my age, this is like the what the fuck are you doing up this late party? So, anyway, but it's all worth it. I really do apologize for the fuckery over the shows the last, like, the morning extra and the show last week. It's just so frustrating. I love doing these shows. I love interacting with you guys here in the chat, and it's a great little community we got here. The sun's out over there, and the sun never sets on the British Empire, Moose. Yeah, so it's very special. I enjoy doing this just so that we have, you know, sincere, legitimate camaraderie. It's not like some cult bullshit. We're all just hanging out and, you know, just trying to enjoy the show, or maybe get our knowledge on, that sort of thing. That's what we're here trying to do for you, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of bullshit. There's definitely a lot of propaganda. So we try to cut through that. But at the same time, sometimes you just got to take a break from the world. You got to get away from the social media. You just got to tune out for just a little bit so you can get your mind straight, and then get back in the ring and get ready to fight another day. Love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will be back probably, actually, no. No show on Tuesday. But, yeah, because, yeah, we've got people coming out to check the internet to make sure everything's cool. So there's probably not going to be a show Tuesday. I might do a Wednesday night show for ExtraBulla Live. Maybe try and come up with a topic, and we can all just kind of like this, just have like a bullshit community session, and just kind of talk about things and stuff like that. I'll try and see if I can come up with a good topic for Wednesday if I do a show Wednesday. So, but I'll let you know. Just watch the posts on YouTube if you're friends with me on the tweeters. I post information there too. So, anyway, guys, love each and every one of you. Be safe. Use your critical thinking skills. Don't just assume somebody's telling you the truth just because you've listened to them for years or whatever. Because people can be corrupted, or people can be just fucking playing you, trying to get you to, give them clicks and, donations and stuff like that. I'm not here for that, although I do appreciate all that. My goal is to entertain and to inform. That's basically my job, number one. Have a good night, everybody. Love you. We'll see you when we see you. Peace.
There can be only one.
Nice to meet you. My name's Warren.
Irish. Fuck, be a lady tonight. Are you serious? Fuck in the saddle again. Fuck in the box. Fucking the quarter fuck. Fuck sand. Mighty fucks. May the fuck be with you. Joy Fuck Club. Long haul fucker. Fuck puppet. Finger fucking good. Thomas the fuck engine. Fuckish. Curl up with a good fuck. Dwayne the fuck Johnson. Starfucks. Monster fuck rally. Buckingham Palace. Green Bay fuckers. Fuck. Fuck of the Irish.